Ba Weep Grana Weep Nitty Bong, I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our weekly Transformers Earth Wars live stream here on twitch.tv/Engineer Hoist. We record Wednesdays at 8 p.m. for those of you watching the replay on YouTube. Head on over there and give us a follow, and so you can join like these guys here in the chat live. So got some shout outs to Sharksy, Grand Galvatron, Optimus Prime, Dojack, Gen 1 Red Alert, Big D, Overwatch, Big Bronze Rim, Wreckin' Rule, and a lot of other people that that have scrolled past. We always start off the stream beforehand with the question of the day. Today I asked, what's your favorite Transformers toy? We had a few different answers. G1 Jetfire, excellent toy. I do like the little, basically it's a Macross figure. It's very cool. Don't have it, but I have played with it before. Arms Micron War Breakdown was one, and Masterpiece Starscream was another vote. So very cool. And as far as for me, it varies. Honestly, it changes from time to time. We also had a couple of people say don't really have one, basically saying I love all figures equally. Currently, I'm kind of liking the C.O.M.B.A.Ts, which are just out of frame here with Piranacon. Still got a couple more to come in, so they're kind of top of the list for me right now because they're you know new and shiny and stuff like that. So if you're watching the replay, let us know in the comments what's your favorite Transformers figure, whether it's now or of all time or anything like that. So let's go ahead and head on over and talk about some Transformers Earth Wars news. And afterwards, I do have some crystals to crack, including the Brainstorm crystal from last weekend, and I did get a little bit of a bundle. This weekend's event is called Total Blockade. Gather your alliance this weekend and take part to win up to 75,000 Spark, up to 7.5 million each of Alloy and Energon, up to 3,000 Prime Core Shards, 30 Smart Bomb Battle Boosters, and 30 Shard Crystals. Now this one kind of threw me for a loop when I first saw it, because normally when you see the Prime Core Shards, it's been individual for a while. This time we're having a little bit of a turn, and it's an alliance event this weekend, so very cool. And so it is an Alliance Prestige event, so it basically works a very similar format to what we've had for all of the other Prime Core events, except this time it's got the Alliance twist to it. It starts at the usual Friday start time, ends at the usual Monday stop time, 30 prestiges in triple XP as always. And you have to be headquarters level 4 like all events, and like all Alliance events, you have to be in an alliance. So there you go. You hit that yellow event button, select your zone, win the battle, win your points, win your prizes. And just like all other Prime Core events, it is the flat battle zone, so it's 10 points per zone, no matter which zone, whether it's Zone 1 or Zone 15. So this is an effort event. The people who are battling in the higher zones do not have the advantage, so it's all about getting out there and just using up your fuel cells and scoring as many points and winning as many battles as you can. And here is the list. This is the prize list for each prestige. So we start off winning some Alloy, then some Spark, a Smart Bomb, Energon, Prime Core Shards, and a Shard Crystal. Now what's in those Shard Crystals, you ask? Well, it's the same thing that's been in the Shard Crystals the last few times we've got it. You have an equal chance to win 200 Premium Shards, 150 3-star Shards, or 100 4-star Shards. And that's about it for the event. Pretty standard event. Hopefully some of you guys will be getting a new Prime Core. I'm this close to a new Prime Core, so I'll definitely be getting a new one this weekend. We probably only need to get through 2 or 3 prestiges, and then like I said, it fell just short. So very cool. Now let's talk about, this was a kind of a surprise. The combat system is actually very new to the game, but we're already looking at getting new bots coming out for that. And this is about all we know about them so far, is we are going to be getting Lionizer and Catgut, which I gotta say is one of my favorite Transformers names ever. Catgut is it's just so fun to say. It's a little tricky to say. Lionizer, of course, is one of the very first of the combat bots that was released during Siege, one of the first battle masters. He turns into a sword, and it kind of makes sense because in the first wave of combat bots, we got a couple of guns, we got Ravage and Night Stalker, who just is basically like a buddy who runs around and helps you along the battle, but only one melee weapon. So now here is a second melee weapon to go along with the bird axes, Pteroxodon and Pterodactyl, and these guys turn into a sword. Now there was no Siege version of Catgut released, but so they just kind of took Lionizer and recolored him, and the eagle-eyed people out there looking at the newsletter did see that it's still an Autobot symbol on Catgut, but fear not, Catgut is a Decepticon. I'm sure they will fix the little symbol on his head before it gets released. And I do have toys to show off of these guys here in just a moment. After this little reminder, to check out Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/EngineerHoist, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EngineerHoist. So to model these new combat bots, I've got a figure here. This is Treadshot, who comes with Catgut. This is an Arms Micron. It was based on Arms Micron, and there's your answer again, Gavatron. This is why I thought it was interesting that you mentioned the Arms Micron, because I got one right here I was going to show off. And so this is not the same as it would be in the event, but I do actually have him holding Lionizer because it's real easy just to show up. Now this guy, Treadshot and Catgut, was one of the Transformers Collector Club subscription service 2.0 figures, and he was also the subject of the third video I ever posted on YouTube, and today is the lowest viewed video on my channel with a measly 77 views. So if you want to see my thoughts on this guy, on Treadshot and Catgut, go back over there, use the search feature, search for Treadshot or Catgut, and you'll see this guy standing there, and I don't know how good it is. It's been a while since I watched it, and I've certainly gotten better over time. But I did actually do a review of this guy, as it turns out. But yeah, as you can see, this is made out of the Generations Warpath mold, which is fantastic. I just love this mold. So there definitely was one of the key things which made me go ahead and jump on that subscription service. But so let's go ahead and take a closer look at Lionizer. So you can see there he's a sword. It comes with this little blast effect part, which I think is really cool. It's like you're slashing him. It's really very cool. And then to transform him, you know, you just basically unfold his legs. They just kind of fold up there and flip out his head here, and then flip the tail up and around. And so now there is Lionizer, just like we saw him in the slides in the game. So look, they got the look just right, just perfectly right. And although I can't remember, does he have the gray head or the black head? Doesn't really matter. But there he is. He even does right down to the fact that he's got the Autobot symbol there on the head. Now this is Catgut. The interesting thing about this guy, he actually came with 0 instructions. You had to kind of assemble him a little bit. One of the cool things, I think this is a feature of the Arms Micron too, the Decepticon symbol is actually kind of like a little jewel that's in there. But I've just got him kind of, he's got all these little razors around there, so I kind of have him kind of like as a chainsaw kind of weapon there. But you can actually unfold him to where he's more of a like serrated axe or something like that. But otherwise, just kind of flip the head around, fold this back down, and then fold the legs down. So there's Catgut kind of transformed into his kitty cat mode. And so you can see, just like what they showed in the game, more of a black body and kind of orange legs. So even though it's not the exact same model, they basically put this paint job on this figure, and I'm holding them the wrong way compared to what we had them on the slide. So there you go. You got Lionizer and Catgut there in the Toys figure. And of course, Tread Shot. I just got to show him off again because I just think this mold is one of the best they've ever produced. So there we go. Don't have any information about the abilities of what Lionizer and Catgut are going to be, how they're going to work, or what their actual benefit or buff or ability is going to be when you wield them. No information on when they're going to be coming out. We just basically got the pictures that these guys are coming, and wait for more information. And that's kind of how the reveals tend to happen for even the regular bots too. So Grand Galvatron says, "Got to give Treadshot some info." Sharksy saying Catgut's ability would be a little sword whoosh. Whoosh. I saw somebody mentioned something about Discord. So yes, if you're actually in the chat and haven't joined Discord, I'm going to throw that up there. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, it is in the description. And I'm not sure, it doesn't look like it actually went in there, but head on over to any of the recent videos. The link to the Discord is in the description of those videos. So how about we actually go crack some crystals before we get on out of here. 3 crystals to claim. You know, actually, I think those are some combat chips. It's time for those. So we'll go see what kind of combat dupes we get today, in addition to the other ones. So now 42 crystals to use. Are crystals tasty? Oh, they're so tasty. Look at this spread. How about we start it off with the one that we know what it's going to be. We've got the Brainstorm, 2-star Brainstorm coming through. There you go. I think somebody asked what we did on the leaderboard. We finished the way where we usually do, somewhere in the mid 500s. And so there you go. There's Brainstorm joining the squad. 2-star. I'll level them up because I level up all of my bots. But you probably won't see much action on the battlefield except maybe during the elimination mode. Speaking of which, I hope I don't forget, because I am going to be upgrading the lab to open the second slot. So we got a gold chip. I forget where that came from. And that looks like a shock tower. EMP shock stuns targets for 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have that on. I'm not sure if I have that on either of my shock towers yet. Very cool. 3-star crystal. It's gonna be a duplicate. It's a duplicate air raid. And I don't know which one of these combat bot crystals are, but we'll just go ahead and go from right to left. This one is blowpipe, so that was a Decepticon one. And another Decepticon one here gives us a duplicate Pterodactyl. Cool, got that combat spark for leveling your combat bots and 5-star shards. And now the Autobot crystals got a Night Stalker and another Night Stalker. And we got some free crystals here. 2,000 sparks, always nice. Another 1,000 spark. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but on these, since they added these the Decepticon free crystals, I've noticed I've been getting a lot more drops of boosts and spark instead of bots from those. I don't know if maybe that has something to do with the fact that there's no chance for a new bot to come through there, or what. So, and that takes us down to just 11 premium crystals. And to answer your question there, Sharksy, these are Magnus crystals. I happened to be stopped by the store earlier before the stream and saw they had that bundle for me for Ultra Magnus, since I do not have the 4-star of him. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and go see if we can't find ourselves a 4-star Ultra Magnus tonight. But first, we're going to open some premium crystals. Maybe we'll get something else good. We got a hotspot. That's pretty good. There's the boss, Optimus Prime. Now the combat chips are like every other premium crystals. Yes, exactly. It happened very quick. You get them pretty quick, and then they're immediately duplicates. And there's Jazz. Jack calling for the space bridge to light them up. Monkey Prime coming for a visit. Smokescreen? I haven't used him in a while because he's been stuck waiting for his spot in the lab. And there's Jetfire. Rodimus Prime. Ooh, a 3-star Rodimus Prime. That's nice. Got us some 4-star shards. Alpha Bravo. Everyone's favorite aerial bot. Another smoke screen coming through the bridge. And Slash from the final premium crystal. Oktar asking, am I all set for tomorrow? Actually, that's a good point. I haven't mentioned it yet, but I was going to. So, if you're watching the replay, it's too late because it already happened, but you can always go back and watch their replay. But I will be a guest on the official Transformers Earth Wars live stream happening tomorrow at the usual time, which is, what, 5 p.m. Universal Time, which is noon Eastern Time. On the Transformers Earth Wars social media channels, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'll be doing that. I did send them some trivia questions and some other information. So looking forward to hanging out and being a part of that stream. And no, I'm not going to be grilling them about anything. Neither the time nor the place to be going and asking for, like, hey, when's Hoist coming? When's Hoist coming? Not the time or the place. So there we go. How about we crack open these Ultra Magnus crystals? Alita 1, Hollywood Hoist. Don't forget about the little people. Yeah, well, you know, if it stays true to form, Sunstreaker is probably going to end up showing up and trying to steal the spotlight. If it's like that Hoist goes Hollywood. Of course, Warpath and Trax and Powerglide will show up too. Then we'll all have to wear stupid masks. Speaking of that, the Fans Toys Sheridan has finally shipped, as we're talking about Warpath, and should be here on Friday. There was a little bit of a delay, which is to be expected with the whole situation that's going on now. Because I did place the order about a week ago almost, and it did ship out a couple days ago. Should be here Friday, including that Fans Toys Warpath, which does include that mask, which is a big reason why I got them, and a few other bots too. Some of the Studio Series figures, plus those Capticom bots. The one where basically it's this hat turns into Optimus Prime, and I was like, you know, I've seen them before, but that was before I was, you know, wearing this hat all the time, and I realized that, you know, I think it's time to go ahead and get that. And of course, if you're getting the one, might as well get the Megatron version too, which is just kind of black with the Decepticon logo on it. So I don't know how good they are, but I think they'll be cool to have. When's Red Alert going to free crystals? I don't know, man. Should be getting to be pretty soon. It's been a few months. Oh, thought about it for a second. We just got Cybertronian and Jetfire. Saw a review of Sheridan today. He looks nice and sharp, says Big D. Yeah, I saw a couple of reviews of him, and I saw him in person at TFCon. That's what really sold me, is when I saw him there. I hadn't, especially because they had him posed with the mask, and that's what I've been really wanting, because I have the X-Transbots Hoist, which has the mask. It also came with the mask for Masterpiece Trax. That same X-Transbots Hoist. Masterpiece Sunstreaker came with the mask. The Masterpiece version of Powerglide that I got from DX9 came with the mask. So the only one missing was Warpath. You know, the Bad Cube War Dog did not come with a mask. So it's kind of hard to do that whole scene without a Warpath with the mask. So Vance Toy Sheridan is doing that for us. There's an Ultra Magnus. It's about time. That's why you couldn't open the Matrix, Magnus. Because you're just not showing up when you're supposed to. I don't know how that works together. Oh, thought about it for a second again, but no, it's just a duplicate streetwise. Oh. I don't know why I still get excited about that, because it never really means anything. There's Ultra Magnus. Still just a 2-star. Oh, you stole my line, Grand Galvatron. I was saving that for the end. I was saving that for when this becomes a duplicate. Yes, Ultra Magnus clearly can't deal with this right now. Looks like we did get another one. I have a feeling it's a 3-star crystal. And indeed it is. We'll go see if we can get a new 3-star Decepticon. Nope. But we did get a duplicate 3-star Lugnut. One of my favorite Decepticons. Ooh, and a silver Lugnuts mace. I don't think I had that. I think that'll work out really well on him, unless I already have it on him. Oh, Brainstorm story. I forgot about that. Very cool. I misunderstood, that's all. It's not that I am unengaged with my fellow bots. It's just the speed of my brain processes data means I'm always multitasking. For the somewhat slower of thinking Brainstorm, please explain. For instance, right now, Streetwise, I am remotely engaged in theoretical research into dark matter, isolating enzymes from cosmic rust to devise a viable nanite antibody and developing a metafictional bomb. Oh, and speaking with you. So, what percentage of your massive processor space would you say you're currently allocating for us, your fellow Autobots? 2%. 3% if you include this actual FaceTime that is Trax. Wow. We're flattered. And there was me thinking you weren't just a team player. On the contrary, Cosmos, I am fully committed to the Earth Wars and accompanying spirit of camaraderie. In fact, I've developed a new subroutine specifically dedicated to idle banter. Idle banter? Case in point, Streetwise, routine surveillance reveals you have a collection of humorous and suggestive number plates that you like to wear. That must be fascinating. Tell me more. Well, it's just a hobby, really. Routine surveillance? Are you spying on us, Brainstorm? That feels too emotive a word, Trax. I am simply interested in everything and everyone. And I see nothing wrong in your habit of parking conspicuously in front of glass buildings so you can admire yourself from every angle. Pure coincidence. 96 times in the last week alone is a lot of coincidence. And Cosmos, I believe you favor night flights and humans who don't draw their curtains. He's the UFO that everybody sees. That's it. Go back to your test tubes, Brainstorm, and stay out of our lives. Oh dear. Yes, this is what tends to happen when I try and socialize. Could we, reset? Try again? Now, where's my briefcase? Yeah, that'll make things better. Go get your briefcase, because that went great in the comics. Meanwhile, you guys are talking about dead mice and dead birds brought to you from your stray cats. Oh, that's funny. That side conversation going on as I'm reading the story. Not at all bothered by it. I just think it's funny, and I guarantee you, Brainstorm was all over seeing your conversation because I don't have the abilities of Brainstorm. Otherwise, I'd have known that was going on as I was reading that. Yeah, very cool. Funny story. I don't know what Brainstorm's voice is supposed to sound like, but we'll go ahead and give him another little cameo. We still got him sitting here from the other week. There's a little Brainstorm from Titan's Return. One of the few figures from Titan's Return that is actually supposed to be a headmaster as opposed to like Hot Rod and Trigger Happy and Cup and everybody else. Brainstorm, stop talking about dead rats again. Oh my goodness. So, okay, guys. Well, you know that's about all I've got for the news for tonight. Of course, with the crystal cracking. So just to wrap up, we did see the new bots, Lionizer and Catgut are going to be the new combat bots, and we'll find out about their abilities and when they're coming a little bit later, because we don't have that information right now. And Catgut, of course, is the target master partner of Treadshot here, from the Transformers Collectors Club subscription service, and I believe he was an action master in G1. So do appreciate everybody stopping by. If you're watching the replay, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist and give us a follow. Join us Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we have a good time. We also stick around after we're done recording and just hang out and chat about various Transformers topics. And you can only get that if you watch live on Twitch, or I suppose if you can go over and watch the replay on Twitch, but that's only up for 2 weeks. Anyway, that's going to do it. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. We'll see you next time.